drivers. The Vidane Racing Series Season 7 on LSRTV, powered by iRacing.com. Tonight, race 3 of 12, the Vidane Racing Rent-A-Race Car Super Speedway Series, the PCP 150, presented by Proco Paint at Daytona. First time out, the Chevy Silverado's on track, and welcome you up into the broadcast booth, Evan Pasoko, alongside PD Zeller for 60 laps at 150 miles before we reach the end of points race number 3 on the year. And PD, 43 guys attempting to take a time in qualifying, so every single person is going to be able to qualify, which means we do not have Rents Brown in the broadcast booth with us. He's actually going to be out there on track in tonight's race.
Big shout out to our little buddy Rents Brown. He didn't make the first 2 races and had to come up with us in the booth. He had a good time. He said he's going to miss a little bit tonight, but congratulations, Rents. I never thought I'd see the day where you made the race, but I'm really proud of you.
We are all proud. I think some of the drivers related it to Norm Benning making the Eldora race, but nonetheless, Rents is going to be out there on track. We also get a half-in-race reporter with us, driver of the number 37, Alan Bowes. We will talk to him as tonight's race progresses. He will be our in-race reporter. Some quick race notes before we run you down through the grid here starting tonight. Now, the top 20 in points have been locked into this top split televised race. Following positions from 21st on back are based on the 2-lap closed qualifiers that happened earlier in the evening. Another side note, Quentin Young won split 2 from Talladega, so that means he gets half the championship points than the winner of the feature race, split number 1 that we keep an eye on here, would receive. No second split tonight, as again all 43 entries make the show. 10-minute open qualifier then determines how they all start in tonight's race. And again, as we said, 43 people attempted to qualify, so all 43 will make the show. So nobody going home here tonight. Field is on the grid. We'll run you down through your starting order presented by Proco Paint. On top of the scoring pylon, it is going to be the 924. Ian Plash going to be starting in the number 1 spot. He's going to be with a time of a 48.339, and obviously his drafting partner there, because 1/1000 behind him, Jonathan Goat, going to be starting second, and they round out the front row.
On the right, we have Daniel starting in 3rd tonight, and he actually tied with Jeff Ramsdell for a time. We're ties tonight, and Jeff Ramsdell will be rolling off in the 4th starting position tonight. So never finished a Vidane race in 2 years. Hope to see him finish tonight.
Alan Lewis is going to be starting for the inside on row number 3. That's going to be the P5 starting position for the 923 Chevrolet. Alongside him, the 04 of Justin Oblock. That's 6th.
And starting 7th tonight, his drafting partner in crime, Houston Hammer, paint scheme to his, and starting the 8th starting position is Alan Lewis in the 923.
Logan Clampett going to be starting in position number 9. Connor Anton going to round out the top 10 position.
Starting in 10th tonight is EJ O'Rourke in the number 41, and starting in 11th is Femi Olat in the number 13.
And it appears that 12th starting position goes to Daniel Roper. 13th is Jeff Ramsdell, and Ryan Hunty will be starting in 14th. 15th going to go to EJ O'Rourke. He will be starting from actually back on pit road. A couple of drivers are trying to get going. It appears some of them are actually stopped on pit road. 16th to Justin Fuller, 17th to Trey Eidson, 18th position Houston Hamer, Finn Maiola at 19th actually, and then JP Winchittle going to be back in 20th.
21st is Alex Karen in the 181. 22nd, William Tex Perry. 23rd, Spencer E. Burns. 24th, Jarrett Bulliard. 25th tonight, Derek Colson. 26th, Alex Monteferrante. And 27th in the 05, Nick Del Campo. 28th, Preston Perlmutter. 29th, Michael Garagilla. And rounding out your top 30 is Bryce Senesac.
And iRacing likes to consistently change around how we have to look at the results page, so we apologize on a little bit of confusion. We're both trying to figure out who was reading out the right numbers there. Again, they've gone through 2 qualifying sessions. We had to diagnose which numbers we were going through, and those are the top 30. We'll catch up with the rest of the field as half the pack is still trying to catch up to the field as we roll out of 4 and we get set to take the green flag. Ian Plash going to be in control of this field. Pace car ducks down, green flag out immediately. We are underway at a PCP 150 from Daytona is green.
They race side by side for the lead. The 08 hanging tough on the outside. We expect to see some tandems hook up, as that is what is historically we have seen at Daytona, as they are racing side by side. Great restart for the 08. Good racing out into turn number 1. The 68 is getting up to the bumper of the 924, but not as fast as the 32 got to the 08, and they're already pushing each other. The only 2 cars on the outside within breathing distance right now, and they got a great run coming down the backstretch side by side for the lead. Can the 08 get clear, and will he wait for the 32 to bring him with him? No, he will not bring him with him, but he does get clear as he will take the lead from Ian Plash on lap 1, and the 68 will pull up the bumper of the 32. Try to push them. Already 2 tandems we see, the 08 and the 924 and the 32 and the 68.
At how big wiggle, 68 machine going to get shot down low. Everybody is able to check up accordingly after that could have got real ugly real fast. And I have to believe that move by Goke and Plash was by design, because they were about 0.2 of a second faster than anybody else in the qualifying section, actually 1/10 faster. But the way you know they were drafted and even that tandem is because Plash put down a 339 and it was a 340 for Jonathan Gokes. Only 1,000th of a second separated them, so I have to imagine via that run on the outside, Plash may have backed off a little bit, allowed Jonathan to get down in front of him, and that's how you'll see those 2 have been able to get hooked up, and they are pushing, trying to get a gap of the rest of the field. The pack is now getting 1 tandem, trying to break away and catch our leaders. Dustin Lee going to be leading that charge. He has the push from the 68 machine as our top 2 swap. Ian Plash now goes to the lead spot in that tandem, and it is again the 68 of Damon Gilbert pushing that 32 of Dustin Lee. That lead tandem lost some speed pulling that swap, so advantage going to go to the 32 with a 68 up high. The question is, once Plash and Goke get back down into quarter number 1, can that inside lane regain the momentum as we go back now down into the corner, and you'll see they'll pull nose to nose.
As they are racing side by side, very calm, cool, and collectively, not trying to side draft too hard, keeping their distance, racing good early on. Ian Plash does get a great run, with a push from the 08 of John Goke. As the 32 of Dustin Lee has lost a little steam, the 68 had to try to cool his nose down a little bit, went low. Got some air to it, seems cool now, but as they're going to pull back, try to get even with them. As they're racing through turns 3 and 4, we're seeing a 3rd tandem appear here with the 4 of Connor Ant and the 44 of Logan Clampett. Some good racing already, Evan, and we see that these cars, Ian Plash and John Goke made a swap early. Maybe they feel more comfortable with the 08 pushing, something we'll have to note later on. But meanwhile, Dustin Lee leads that lap by 1/1000th of the second as the 924 is losing a little bit of speed here. Must have had to get some air to that 08, something you'll see a lot tonight with these tandems. But meanwhile, Dustin Lee is your leader, even though he has got separated with his drafting partner in the 68. And here comes Ian Plash back on the inside. Meanwhile, still side by side, the 924 is getting pushed by the 08. Evan Pasoko. Meanwhile, side by side, the 68 is pushing the 32 to the lead. We have some great racing going on here. We actually have a 3-car tandem in the back there, the 4, the 44, and the 36. Calm, cool, and collectively trying to get to that lead with the 32 leading the pack now. Ian Plash shuffle back to the 3rd car in the lead line, the 25 right there. Looks like he's just figuring out what line to go with. We did not expect to see these lines tonight, but sometimes 3 cars can't get hooked up and make it work. And when you got great drivers on the outside like Connor Ant, Logan Clampett, and Justin Bolton, you will see some great things happen as they are racing greatly for the lead. The 32 of Dustin Lee holds the advantage right now as the 44 and 4 gets separated. And the 44 is actually going to pull down the inside, possibly try to swap here. And meanwhile, the 32 and the 68 are the only hooked up tandem. As I say that, the 68 actually goes up high to get some air to his nose. And the 44 and the 4 successfully make the swap. But what this has done is made the 924 and 808 have to separate and get back together here. And that really messed them up when that swap happened. They could just not get reconnected. Meanwhile, the lead swap making a change. The 32 and 68 swapping here as we are racing side by side for about 4th down the backstretch. Some great racing going on here so far, and Justin Bolton's actually going to move up to that outside line, try to get something going as we go down the backstretch side by side with this 08 and 36 racing for the lead. The 68 has the slightest of an advantage right now over Justin Bolton, as Justin Bolton is getting a great push from the 44 of Logan Clampett. And good racing up here already in the race. We've seen these tandems prevail, but the swaps are just hurting them on speed. Something that we did expect, but did not expect to have that big of a... Ooh, that was close there. The 36 and the 68 got real tight in the trials. The 36 of Justin Bolton did lead that lap, as they are still racing side by side as they have for most of the race. Something you'll see a lot tonight is when these cars push, their motors can be good for around 3 or 4 laps. And what that means is when their motors get too hot, you'll have a red light on the dash which signals oil pressure start blinking red. And whenever you see that red start to blink, it means you need to switch immediately or else your motor will blow up, and that could create big problems. Speaking of big problems, Justin Bolton is up the river without a friend, and he's going to hurt Ian Plash and John Goke as they could not quite get around him. And he's now going to lead the outside line. We see that line starting to move again very quickly. They are going to be battling for the lead here before it's long. And here comes Jeff Ramsdell in the 2 truck, pushed by the 61 from behind. They have made up a ton of ground on this field, as Justin Bolton is trying to go for the lead. What this lead pack has done, they have actually opened about a half a second advantage over 10th. We have about the top 9 battling here right now for the lead. And up front, we have in the lead the 36 of Justin Bolton taking it from that 68 truck of Damon Gilbert, being pushed by Ian Plash. But Ian Plash just has such a good run right now that it's pushing that 36 truck to the lead, with Damon Gilbert battling hard on the outside. Can't imagine these trucks can be pushing each other much longer. The 32 has to be getting hot under the hood. He's been pushing that 68 of Damon Gilbert for quite a few laps now. As we say that, they back off a little bit to try to get split up, and what this has done actually, it's invited some more trucks in the party. Here we got the number 48 truck of Ryan Hunt catching the lead pack, as now we just have a bunch of lines. This tandem stuff has just kind of died out now. They are racing side by side, 2 perfect lines. Here comes Justin Bolton once again. He wants to clear that 68. He's been trying to for a lot of laps. There's just some great racing we're seeing up here. Jeff Ramsdell in the 2 truck, trying to make some moves in the back. He is going to be pushing that 08 as Justin Bolton finally clears the 68. Justin Bolton to the lead over Damon Gilbert. And here comes the 51 truck, making it 3 wide back here. Hold on, folks. Justin Fuller and William Perry trying to make a 3 wide move as things are getting dicey. The 2 truck underneath the 08. 08 got way loose, really bumped things up. And here comes some more trucks. This pack is getting bigger by the lap. Cars are coming from everywhere. The 44 way loose. Hold on to it. Whoa, very tight situation we had there. And then Jeff Ramsdell barely misses disaster there. But up front, Justin Bolton, after getting to the bottom, is now in the lead, being pushed by that 68 of Damon Gilbert. And Ian Plash has found his buddy, John Goke, as he's going to try to get to the lead. Ian Plash wants to lead back. Started on the pole tonight, is currently your Vidane points leader, wants to hang on to that, and he will actually take Goke all the way to the front with him, as they are now the leading duo with a head of steam. And here comes the 4 and the 44 battling side by side with that 36 of Justin Bolton. Here comes, whoa, get ready for a battle here, as the 4 truck of Connor Anton will get clear possibly on that outside with help from the 44. They are trying so hard to catch that 68 and 924. Is lap traffic up here. Hold on, folks, this is going to get tight. Here we are on the outside, the 5, and I think that is the 339 into the wall. Watch out, he's got way off the pace. They got to be careful to miss him. 3 wide up front. battling. Does the 2 make it? 2 makes it 4 wide. They are 4 wide for second right now with the lap truck. Jeff Ramsdell with a power move to the outside of John Goke, being pushed by the 61. Jeff Ramsdell still 3 wide on the outside. He is clear of second. Will he pull down or will he wait for the 61? They are battling hard side by side for the lead. The 4 truck, the 2 lost ahead of steam. Connor Ant and Logan Clampett give him the lead as we are racing intensely for this lead so far. 3 wide, 4 wide at moments. Just insane right now. Amazing. That's kind of split up the pack a little bit as we see John Goke and Ian Plash make another run at the front. Ian Plash is going to get that nice. Oh, the 44 went up to block but could not get there in time. John Goke still to the outside, being pushed by the 924. Here we are going side by side for the lead, and John Goke is to the lead with the lap traffic fast approaching. These guys got to be careful. Last time we saw them go 4 wide, that could have easily been disastrous for any of them trucks. They raced smart, and they made it through it as we close in on just past lap 10 of 60 tonight. Should be fun to watch these guys. So far, they've been putting on one heck of a battle. They scared me when they went 4 wide there. I didn't think they were going to make it through, but these guys just have so much talent, and they made it through all that. As here they approach the lap truck. I'm trying to get a number on that. It is the number 11 truck, as he will get out of their way nicely, and they clear him easily, as we are still racing side by side for this lead with John Goke and Connor Anton.
And we had a whirlwind of technical issues on my end, so apologize for that. And PD, I was just going to let you go there forever. They were 3-4 wide. This is not Talladega like we were last week. Not a lot of room. Thankfully, it was down the back. But one thing that stood out to me in that whole exchange was these guys really aren't leaving their partners anymore. Again, the championship is going to be determined by those teams that are set of 2 drivers apiece. So things obviously a lot more team-oriented tonight, and the 25 could go to the outside, side-by-side at the stripe, advantage to the number 4 of Connor Anton. He's working with his partner, Logan Clampett. They practice together in the practice session, and then obviously the 08 machine and the 924 as well have been working together all night. They're up on that outside lane. Interested enough to note that Ian's teammate, Seth the Merchant, he is not in tonight's race speed. He did not qualify, so that's going to hurt Plash and the Plash team in the championship standings. And now caution going to fly. We have some sort of trouble. And, oh, big wreck down the back. They're still wrecking.
Big one.
Couple trucks involved in it. Derek Colson, the 57 Chevrolet, up in the air. Yellow flag will come out. And I believe this started in front of him. Well, the 70 of William Perry was just sitting dead sideways, stopped in the middle of the track.
Yeah, it looks like he has got a little loose from the 18. Holy netcode as the replay comes up. The 70 truck tried to save it, could not quite. Got back up into that wall, and just a whole bunch of checkup caused more trucks to pile in. Tough break for a lot of trucks. Our main man, Rents Brown, did a great job keeping that truck off the inside wall. Shout out to Rents. Just a tough break for a lot of them guys. But lucky for them, they have a reset here tonight, and they should be able to use that and get their trucks fixed and hopefully get out there and battle back for the win. This is our first caution of the night so far. So far, your leader, Connor Anton and John Goke in second. Connor made some awesome moves to get up to that lead. Was part of that 4 wide battle we saw, and now under caution, Evan. You missed a lot, Evan.
And as Paul Strickland Jr. and actually Jeff Ramsdell called it in the in-race chatter, per se, I netcode on that one because, I mean, yeah, it just looks like the 70 machine just got turned and there was really no contact. And it was interesting that he was stopped in the middle of the track, and as he almost started to pull up and try to get that thing turned left to get back going, is when William Perry got back into him. And again, that was pretty much the brunt of the impact. At least 4 other trucks going to get some minor damage out of that one, but obviously it is going to be the 70 machine pretty much getting the brunt of that impact. Leader is going to be coming down pit road, all of them going to be bringing it down. We had a couple of trucks pit the last time around. They will get EOL penalties, but they came down. You see some of them in their stalls there for damage repairs. So we'll have to see. Connor Anton going to be the first truck that comes down pit road. Him and his teammate entered first and third. That would line them up bumper to bumper with each other if they were to go back that way on the grid. Left side tires for them. They are not going to be the first ones off pit road. Wow, that is close. JP Winchittle, though, with the... Actually, he missed that stall entirely, so the 56 truck is going to have to come back around. But if excluding that, he was right neck and neck. That's hard to call with the 08 machine. I think the 08 is going to be the first one off of pit road, as JP will have to round around the next time by as he missed his stall. But we're going to step away for a moment, catch our breath here, and try to make sure we have everything sorted out as you're watching the Vidane Racing Series Season 7 and LSRTV, the PCP 150, still underway, and more on the other side.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product.
Back live tonight at the Daytona International Speedway. You're watching the Vidane Racing Series Season 7 on LSRTV, powered by iRacing.com with the Vidane Racing Rent-A-Race Car Super Speedway Series. Tonight, race 3 of 12 in the 2014-2015 campaign, the PCP 150, presented by Pro Coat Paint at Daytona. The Chevy Silverado's out there on track tonight, and we're going to get set for a lap 19 restart. 42 laps to go this time by the stripe. race leader, the 230 of Ryan Manning, who started back in 39th position. Alongside him, going to be Jonathan Goke, his drafting partner, Ian Plash up there as well. Connor Ant and Logan Clampett not too far from each other also, as the green flag flies back underway. At advantage going to go to the inside. The 08's going to get down in line. Ian Plash lets his teammate down. Expect those two to try to get around that 230 machine up top. The 4 and the 36 pushing as well on the high side.
Ryan Manning, don't mistake him for Peyton Manning, but right now he's in the lead, with Jonathan Goke closely behind, followed by his drafting partner of tonight, Ian Plash. Is the 4 of Connor Anton was the leader before the caution came out, has found Logan Clampett, but they have nowhere to go. They have to hook up with Ryan Manning. Ryan Manning is trying to maintain the inside line, and we know that Goke and Plash are dedicated to each other. As we see here, they do not wait. Plash is trying to edge it in there, and he does. Barely finds a hole. Give Jonathan Goke the lead. The outside leading car is that 36 of Justin Bolton. We have seen him up there a lot tonight as they are getting sideways and squirrely back there. Meanwhile, Jonathan Goke and Ian Plash are pulling away from this field.
This is still a huge pack of trucks. 39 of them remain on the lead lap at this point. And again, it is the advantage to Goke and Plash, who have been drafting together all night long. The truck that has no help is Ryan Manning, with a great strategy call, PD, starting 39th to get up to 3rd. Unfortunately for him, the 2 trucks behind him have been drafted and are teammates. So that's going to be Connor Anton and Logan Clampett. They go to the high side. They will get clear and take positions 3 and 4. And now the 51 machine of Justin Fuller going to be working with the 36 truck as well. That's going to be Justin Bolton. They go to the high side as well, and a 230 truck only going the wrong direction. 2 more trucks coming now. The 25 of Steve Bonesteel and the 006 of Spencer E. Burns going to be coming up as well. And it was a good call in theory by Ryan Manning, but just no help.
No, most of these guys already have preset partners, like we talked about early in the broadcast. You have partners that you decide before the race are going to work with. And unlucky for him, they all found each other, and he's going to have to fall back a long ways before he finds someone without one. And that's going to hurt him. In all reality, he should have just went with everyone else and stayed in the back with whoever his partner was, and they could have tried to find his way up to the front. And as we talk about this, here comes the number 4 truck of Connor Anton, trying to reclaim the lead. Took it after that daring 4-wide move before the caution came out, and he is racing side by side with the 08. Logan Clamp giving him a great push as they go through turns 3 and 4. On the exit, give this lap advantage to the 4. They have a great run off of 4 as they are maybe going to be able to clear the 08. We don't know, and they get separated actually, the 924 and the 08 too, but so do the guys on the outside. Very unfortunate they got separated because they could have had the lead there. And the 51 and 36 just have nowhere to go. And what all this is doing, this is inviting the 25 truck and the 006 of Spencer E. Burns to the party. And here comes the number 25 of Steve Bonesteel to the outside of the 36 with a push from Burns. And they're going to try to take it 3 wide possibly. They have a great run if they can get there. And they will think better, and they're just going to push the 44. Ooh, that gets them squirrely and makes everyone have to check up.
Yeah, unlike Talladega, again, we saw 4 wide, but it was down the straightaway. Those 2 trucks getting that run, they were going to be headed up into 3. A little bit of a bobble there. The 25 is able to hang on to it. Bonesteel nearly got the right rear of the number 36 of Justin Bolton. So those trucks elected to not go to the high side. A slot going on between Ian Plash and Jonathan Goke. Plash is going to want to get in front of his teammate or drafting partner there in the 08. He will do so, hop up. That does give the advantage to Justin Fuller down on the inside with help from the 36 machine. They've been working their way up to the front together. Justin Bolton, Justin Fuller working together on the inside lane. Now the inside is the preferred lane so far. Everybody throughout the pack there. We got about 8 trucks up top, and 2 of them are leading the charge at the moment. Goke all over the back bumper of Ian Plash. You'll see the inside lane. They'll get the advantage, but they dive down into the corner. They'll get this run, but the advantage then swaps back to the outside because they'll get that run coming off the banking down the corner. Advantage to the inside is enough that it is going to be the number 55 of Justin Fuller. P1 that time by, and give that Lily Trucking machine, that Chevrolet, a lap lead.
As he will lead. Meanwhile, Ryan Manning, we talked about falling back, has kind of forced his way into a friendship, kind of forced the 38 truck to leave his partner and work with him, as the 36 gets way loose on the inside. Whoa, hold on. Good save by the 36. Like I was talking about, Ryan Manning has found a friend as they are working in the back of the pack, lead pack right now. Meanwhile, Ian Plash has retaken the lead after that big bobble, but they have trouble coming on the outside. We haven't seen this duo a lot tonight, but here they come. The 25 of Steve Bonesteel and Spencer E. Burns will actually maybe making a swap here. No, they're actually just going to pull down on the inside to not like the run they had. This is going to leave Connor Anton on the outside out to dry. Oh, spinner.
Trying to find a car on that into the inside wall, and now down pit road goes that machine, still trying to get confirmation on a number. JP Winchittle, down pit road, the number 56 Chevrolet into his stall. He is sporting some left side damage, and looks like he just got hooked by the 04 off the corner and pretty much almost hung on to it, but pancaked that left side into the inside wall. He's down for pit road, as well as I would imagine some sort of penalty for speeding down pit lane. So he is essentially out of tonight's competition. Because that was off the racing surface, we do stay green, and the advantage has now swapped hands once again. It is the 006 of Spencer Burns pushing that 25, now Steve Bonesteel to the top spot. Here comes Jonathan Goke with Ian Plash up high.
Talked to these two before the race, felt very good about their truck. They knew they'd get up here. Not a lot of people believed they would, but they have done it. Bonesteel leads that lap. Not for long, though. Here comes Goke on the outside. Dominant truck all night, being pushed by Ian Plash, last week's winner. And they're going to take the lead if Plash can clear him. What we've seen a lot tonight, though, Goke will not pull down unless Plash is clear. He is very committed to that 924. Expect to see that change in the closing laps, but as for now, it's worked out for them. They are clear by a mile right now. They're just waiting to do a swap. They're going to switch here. The 08 and 924. And Justin Bolton's going to try to take in the middle, thinks better of it the last minute, and he's going to push Plash away from his partner, or at least try to. Plash is going to pull up and think better of that. What this has done, this has separated Bolton and Fuller. I don't think Bolton thought that moved through very well, as we are racing side by side for this lead.
Down pit road, the 230 of Ryan Manning stayed out on that strategy call to get the track position and was maybe banking on another yellow. He's not going to get it, and he's brought his machine down pit road for his fuel and possible tires, and the 230 truck actually just drove straight through pit road. Not sure if that is a penalty or something, but he just drove straight through pit road, pulled out of the pack, did not even take a look, maybe just completely missed his stall. We'll have to keep an eye on that while we watch the racing up front. Things really starting to get crazy now as everybody is trying to perform the swaps with their partners. It's put Ian Plash back to the top spot. And now 3 wide, 25 going the wrong direction. The 36 and the 51, the Justin's going to go to the high side. You got the 4 and the 44 up in the middle lane. That's going to be Clampett and Anton. And then the 006 of Spencer Burns is going to have to try to drop back. But Bonesteel, who he's been working with, is stuck in the middle. He may have to be forced to work with the 38 of Logan Kress, who's on the bottom there, the AC Delco Chevrolet.
Logan.
Oh, there's no room there. 87 in the apron. They hang on. The 25 tried to get down there to the inside line, definitely not clear, and Monteferranti sideways on the apron. This is a huge cluster now, 3 wide because of this huge checkup, and now we got a caution. That 3 wide's not going to be the cause of it. Trying to get a number on this. We got a couple of them in the grass. The 13, the 7 car is going to go around here after the caution flag has been thrown. That's Jarrett Bolliard. Caution has been thrown by the sim. So there is an incident. It is down the back straightaway. Huge checkup. Whoa, a huge mess. Down the back, did not even notice this. It all stems from the 8 truck, Petey. For some reason, decided to go to the apron. Believe he may have gotten knocked down there or got loose. And that Mountain Dew Kickstart number 8 machine tried to come back up. That's Adam Gilliland. And when he did so, that was, oh my God, came up the 84 to the 48. Look at that rate before they made contact, how spread out everybody was, or rather how jam-packed everybody was down that back straightaway. That was only a moment of time before they piled in there, because that got real crazy after that checkup, and multiple trucks going to be involved in that. That's going to slow us down for our second caution.
That was, in the words I like to use, the big one down the backstretch. Meanwhile, just like the last caution, Connor Anton has taken the lead. This time by, they're going to get the halfway mark of this race. Just a 60-lap shootout here at Daytona. These guys going for it all tonight. But so far up front, we have seen a very consistent pattern. Anton, Goke, Clampett, and Plash, Bolton, and Fuller, them have been the 6 trucks we have seen up front working together. It's really worked out well for that 08 and 924, the best I would say probably so far, but a close second would be Anton and Clampett, who have found themselves in the lead at every caution so far, and it looks like, for the most part, the leaders are going to come down pit road as the 4 truck is coming down to you in pit road, Evan.
You're not sure if these guys are going to be able to make it from this point to the end on fuel. Maybe if they get a caution, then that'll give them a little bit of buffer. But nonetheless, as you said, the majority of our leaders going to be coming down pit road this time around for service on their machines. And again, just short of the halfway point. We'll be at halfway by the time that we actually get back going. And it's not going to be the 4 car that leads them off. The 006 of Spencer Burns with a fuel-only stop on the GoPro Chevrolet. Going to be the second one off. Justin Bolton going to be the first one off with a 2-tire left side only call. Interesting to see all the left side calls tonight.
Yeah, and you know, it's Daytona. It's a track where you can do that. I'm kind of amazed that there's some guys that aren't doing it and taking more than that or right sides. Tires aren't a huge issue there. You can argue that they're sort of an issue, but it's not that big of an issue here from Daytona, and we'll probably see more of it tonight, but there's going to be a lot of wave around trucks this caution. Meanwhile, it looks as though we have a new leader.
Yeah, so the more swapping of the top spot under this caution flag going to occur there via those pit stops. The trucks that are still out there, the 38th position truck, Danelius Demetrius, he's actually going to be staying out to get a wave around Ian Plash, Jonathan Goke, and William Perry. I do believe those 3 trucks had stayed out and did not come down, so they do anticipate possibly one more stop. And I mean, it's a good call in that regard, is the fact that if everybody else came down right now, PD, they still have to make a stop unless they're banking on, a little bit of caution to be able to save fuel, then why not stay out? So a lot of pit strategy, and you don't really expect these super speedway tracks to have this extent of strategy. But unfortunately, and do so, or rather not unfortunately, but in quite the opposite. There is a lot of strategy that goes into these plate races. And again, one thing that stands out to me, PD, in the first 2 races, we would see somebody get the help on the outside, drop down, leave them. Tonight, these guys are really committed to sticking with their partner.
2-car tango is way more significant with the trucks than they are with the B car. I have expected to see it a lot, but meanwhile, we're going to go to commercial break here from Daytona. We will see you on the other end of this commercial break. Stay tuned for the final half of this race.
Back live at the Daytona International Speedway as the lights are off on top of the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car as we get set for our second restart off of a caution flag here tonight, just past the halfway point in tonight's event. It is the PCP 150 presented by Pro Coat Paint at Daytona. The Chevy Silverado's out here for points race 3 of 12 on Vidane Season 7. Glad to have you with us on LSRTV. Evan Pasoko, PD Zeller up at a broadcast booth here tonight. And again, the LSRTV Super Speedway Friday night doubleheader still continuing on through tonight at the conclusion of the Vidane race. Also, iSuperspeedway.com racing series going to be coming up. So lots of high-banked plate track action still to come tonight. But it's going to be the dominant duo tonight so far that are going to be on the front row. Goke P1, Plash P2. And that's how they're going to start it off. Expect them to try to get hooked up. Pace car down. We get set to go back. Green flag racing. Green in the air. And back underway at Daytona. And they're pretty much neck and neck. We'll have to see who's going to drop in front of who. Goat with the advantage on the inside. Caution flag already. We've got a truck down in the grass.
Trying to get a number on that truck as we look back through the field.
The 7.
The 7 truck.
7. He's in the grass.
48 of Ryan Hunt also looks like he had damage very early. Oh my. Oh. There was a flip.
We had a big incident there, and it started with that 7, PD, and it was a checkup, and it's a 7 who's going to get into the back of, I'm trying to get a number on this truck. Again, everybody jumbled up. Looks like the number 57 machine got sent up and around. That's Derek Colson. Yeah, Colson went up, nailed that 8. Gilliland up in the air on the roof of the 25. The 48 going to get damage as well. That's a pretty substantially large incident, I'd have to say, down that front straightaway. That's going to put us under, again, an immediate caution flag. Gilliland went for a couple of rolls and actually ended up on his wheel still. So he'll be able to drive what's left of that machine back to pit road. But the 7 machine of Jarrett Bolliard is asking race officials on if he will have to claim that caution, because again, he admits that he got into the back of the 57 PD. Didn't look like anybody's fault there, just one of those big checkup deals, and some of the guys obviously being tucked up on the back bumper of these trucks really had no time to react and no warning.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Adam Gilliland. In the words of Adam Gilliland, ain't nobody got time for that. But rough wreck there on the front stretch. I don't think I've ever seen a caution come out quite that early. As we saw the flagman drop the green flag, immediately as the green flag was dropped, he was pulling out that yellow flag as they were flipping right underneath his feet. That was probably one of the bigger ones we have seen so far this season. And they did it going about 50 miles per hour. Tough break for Derek Colson in the 8 car. Just a big checkup there. You'll see that a lot, but meanwhile, nothing has really changed out front as they had just gone green. No one's really had time to pass. Jonathan Goke still your leader with Ian Plash in 2nd, followed by Justin Bolton in 3rd, Spencer E. Burns in 5th, in 4th, Connor Anton in 5th, Logan Clampett in 6th, Justin Fuller in 7th, Logan Kress in 8th, Justin Noblock in 9th, Daniel Roper in 10th.
That's going to also include Alan Lewis, P11, going to bring it down pit road, 12th position to Dustin Lee. Again, these positions will change because they're pitting on us right when we do our full field rundown, because why not? 13th at the moment, Alan Lewis now. 14th is going to go to Daniel Roper. 15th to Nick Del Campo. And again, now half of these guys are on pit road. Half of them are crossing the stripe, so we'll get to these guys later because this is why we can't have nice things. So everybody's grouped up behind the pace car. We will take this opportunity to run you down through the last race results from round number 2 from the Talladega Super Speedway. It was Ian Plash who would go to victory lane in that one after charging through the field in the final laps before the caution flag would fly. And he was able to walk away with the checkered flag of that one after starting in 19th. It was the number 26 of Jalen Smerker. He would come home 2nd after starting in 14th position. 3rd place, the number 8 of Adam Gilliland. He gets a top 3 result after starting in 13th. 8th place starting position for our 4th place finishing truck, Logan Kress. And the number 38 machine would get that spot. Alan Bowes would come home in 5th. Justin Bolton. 6th place result, John Hathaway Jr. 7th. Jonathan Goke in 8th. Nick Del Campo 9th. And E.J. O'Rourke rounds out. And now the leaders are actually going to come down pit road the second time. So the back half came down the first time. I think they were maybe trying to push it. This may make them good on fuel.
Yeah, it's going to be real close here. About 25 laps to go. At Daytona, that's quite a few laps, though. This is a 2.5-mile track with high banks going full throttle all the way around. You'll see that type of thing happen quite a bit here at Daytona. Fuel mileage races. Doesn't seem like a track where it would happen, but it happens more often than not. You'll see guys running out late in the race. And an issue with that is if a guy in the front runs out of gas, and they're going to run almost 190 here at Daytona, basically, whenever he goes from 190 to 160 in the snap of your fingers, no one has time to check up, and it will create a colossal big one. We've seen it happen before. Hope we don't have to see it tonight, but it's very possible, especially at restrictor plate tracks with the fuel races.
I'm going to take this opportunity to try to contact our in-race reporter tonight. Going to try to queue up the driver of the number 18, Alan Bowes. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, we've passed the halfway point. We've seen kind of a mixed decision on pit road on this caution flag period. We see that you've currently, you're stayed out at this point as some of the leaders came by this last time around. You're behind Gilbert, Lee, and Kress. So this looks like it's going to put you just around, if not just outside of the top 5. Are you guys good on fuel from this point?
I think we're gonna have to rely on a few more caution laps. I don't think we're quite to that window yet, but we're just outside of the window.
Take a look at how your night has gone so far, sitting right now in 9th, but started back in 41st position. What was the strategy call to get you and the number 18 Fast Track Sim Chevrolet up to where you sit now?
Well, Kress and I are just trying to get some decent points this race for the team championship. And with both of us starting so far back, with me having an issue before the race that caused me not to be able to qualify, we were just trying to play it safe, and netcode got us there toward the beginning of the race, and it gave us both some damage, so we had to pit and use up our only reset. But right now we're just going to try to play the fuel game and see if we can't hopefully wait out the fuel and get a 1-2 finish here.
How many cautions and then also caution laps do you think that you'd be able, or rather that you would need to be able to stretch it? Because we saw half the field kind of come in on the first time around, and we've seen about 4 or 5 trucks trickle down pit road every time since then. So what's your outlook here, and what do you think the number 18 machine's going to be able to do here?
Well, I think to be able to make it on fuel, we're gonna need about 6 more caution laps. Yeah, I think if we can get 6 more, I think we'd be good to go. Other than that, yep, we just gotta stay up here at the front and just do the best that we can.
All right, Alan, before we let you get back down to the team radio and get back to racing here, sponsors and shout-outs real quick when you're on air.
I gotta thank Fast Track Sims for being on the truck. I gotta thank Logan Kress for being a pretty good teammate in this league. That's about it, so.
All right, well, thank you for taking an opportunity to talk to us. I know it took us a while before we were able to queue you up being our in-race reporter. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk to you either before the checkered flag or after the race, and hopefully it'll be under positive circumstances.
Yep, me too.
All right, good luck here.
Thanks.
So that is our in-race reporter, driver of the number 37 machine, Alan Bowes. A pretty good pickup where he sits right now, Petey. He's going to be scored in P2 at the start-finish line. And he's going to get back down to his team room. And I keep calling him the 37 because his ID in the TeamSpeak where we're talking to him is 37, but he's the number 18. So again, this is why we cannot have nice things. The number 18 Fast Track Sim Chevy is second.
Yeah, and the leader is his aforementioned teammate Logan Kress. And on the front row, we expect to see them make a little strategy call, try to get one in line and the other pushing. Very important for them to do that here, as the lights are still on the pace car. We're getting ready for another restart here, coming up in a lap or 2. Good to talk down. Actually, the lights are off on the pace car. I'm corrected. But getting ready for the restart here with Logan Kress and Alan Bowes on the front row. The teammates hoping to make it to the front here at Daytona.
And now again, we are in the second half of this race. So not only does that entail that it's going to get a lot more exciting, but it means that if we saw 4 wide in the opening stages, imagine how aggressive they're going to start to drive it now. That's the thing that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Again, the 38-18 going to be the front row. Race control lets everybody know time to bunch them up. As we take a look back, 35 trucks on the lead lap, a handful of them are 1 lap down, and so far only 2 of them have gone behind the wall. Actually make that 3. Davey Scoville, Zach Johnson, and JP Winchittle have taken it to the garage. Ian Plash is going to delay the caution flag from race control. So we will go around one more time, as race control was not satisfied with the lack of grouping up of the trucks deeper in the pack.
Like had a little bit of a communication issue there. Another person to note, the top 5 right now, none of these cars started up front. Actually, the entire top 9. The highest starting truck on the top 9 is 23rd, and that's Spencer Burns. Here's your top 3. The leader started 38, second started 41st, and third started 27th. So we've seen some really big movers in this race, and maybe they intentionally started in the back, just trying to make their way up to the front, save their trucks, and if that was the plan, they hold it off to absolute perfection, because right now, the complete top 9 started outside of the top 20.
Yeah, the highest starting position out of the trucks inside the top 9 is 23rd. So as we run down, 1st through 9th, where they started is 38th, 41st, 27th, 26th, 36th, 32nd, 30th, 37th, and 23rd. You have to go all the way back to 10th position, where you find Jonathan Goke, who started in 2nd. Right behind him is drafting partner Ian Plash, started in the number 1 position. They're going to be deeper in this pack, as you see the 38 machine still trying to save fuel, is quite in front of the pace car right now, and race control told the drivers to get off the apron and quit trying to save fuel, because that's what attributed to the strung out starting grid there, which is why we delayed the yellow, and it was the strung out tail end of the field that caused the caution just prior to this. So race control getting everybody grouped up. We're going to take another jab at it, this time by 21 laps to go tonight at Daytona. Control truck going to be the 38 of Logan Kress. Alan Bowes up on the outside lane, pace car down, and the green flag now in the air, back underway, and a gap is going to be created by Logan Kress. He doesn't have anybody behind him. Going to be interesting as the 87 of Alex Monteferranti drop down to the inside. He does. That's going to leave the 18 with no help. He'll have to wait for the 35 to get up to him.
Actually, no. Logan Kress checked up to let his teammate in on the inside. 38's going to be pushing the 18 here. Must have been planned, as we are racing side by side for second. 35 to the outside of Logan Kress, being pushed by that 3 truck. First time we've seen Stephen O'Rourke tonight pushing Karsten Di John Tommaso to the lead. We haven't seen Karsten that much of the season, but here he is making a statement here, as he is pulling to the outside of Alan Bowes. Going to try to lead his first ever laps at Vidane, but Alan Bowes will not give up the lead easily. He is fighting back, and Spencer Burns is making that 3-truck tango on the outside, side by side. Who's going to get it to the line? It's going to be close here at lap number 40. Alan Bowes is fighting back on the inside, but Karsten Gidan Tommaso will lead his first ever lap at Vidane. Congratulations to him. Meanwhile, still great battle going on for the lead as they race side by side.
We got some radio chatter going over from somebody, some guys that are back in the pack that are not satisfied with the way some of these guys are trying to press the issue to get back up front. The matter of the fact is, if you're an Ian Plash or guys back here, including Connor Anton, Logan Clampett, some of these guys that have been up front all race long, you're already 2 seconds away from where you had the start back of the pack. This thing goes green, you're not going to have a shot at it unless you force the issue, and it was the outside lane with the advantage the last time by. It gave Carson the advantage. Now caution flag going to fly. We got trouble back in the pack here. Couple trucks out into the wall, one of them spinning around the 230 of Ryan Manning. Manning is around, and looks like he got some help. Whoa, the 230 machine. Wow, not even close. The 2 machine went to shoot the gap. That's Jeff Ramsdell, and not sure if he was trying to get rid of the guy that was trying to help him, because the 61 was pushing him, PD, and he shot a gap that the 61 was not even close for, and Roper was just following the back bumper of the 2 machine down, and it nailed the 230 truck. And that truck got sent down, obviously, down through the grass. We've seen this a couple times. It's not going to turn, especially with that big bank coming up. Manning tried to slow it down as much as he could, and he came up on track at the worst possible time. Got the 7, the 8, the 13, and a couple of trucks going to be involved in that one, including one of our race winners on the season, Adam Gilland.
Whoa, there's a brawl, and Ryan Manning has been removed from the racetrack. Race control has demanded he takes his car to the garage, and they have actually shut down the motor on that car, being forced into the garage here. Missed what happened there. Must have been, I think it was for not checking up and coming back up into the field. Not positive on that one, but that is what sounds like here right now. I'll try to get confirmation on that one. But meanwhile, your leader is Alan Bowes, followed closely behind by Karsten Gidon Tommaso.
And I have to completely disagree with that call. And the initial reactions per se, somebody thought that it was Ryan Manning who was doing something stupid, and then immediately over the radio, the 61 apologized and said again, if we got a replay on it, the 2 went to shoot the gap, and the 61 was nowhere near close. And Ryan Manning's actually the one that gets knocked down to the grass. Took a look at his onboard. He was on the brakes. He had it turned all the way to the left. And there's no way to avoid that unless you're going to, control out of your sim immediately and forfeit the race. There's no way you're not going to come up on track. And it's unfortunate that he came up and hit the 7 machine, but I don't think you can... the 8 machine dumps the 230 truck after that incident. But to park Ryan Manning for the race, I have to say, completely disagree with that one. We're going to go full screen on this replay, too, to get a look at it.
And I have to agree with you, Evan. I disagree with that one. Looks like hard racing gone bad. Race control might have been under some pressure and just made a quick decision. I have to disagree, but this may have been in the rule book. Maybe something we did not read. Ryan Manning, just a tough break for him, but I'm sure he'll be back next week and try again. But meanwhile, up front, we have... Alan Bowes has taken over the lead of this race ever since him and Kress made a majestic move on that restart. And in second is actually that 2 as the number 38 of Logan Kress. And in third is Karsten Gidon Tommaso. Meanwhile, we are followed up by Alan Bowes, who reportedly is reporting that he might be a little low on fuel. I heard him say over chat. I'll try checking on that. But yeah, meanwhile, still in the lead, Alan Bowes.
And we've caught up. We're going on board right now with the replay from, we went on board and you saw the replay. We're now caught up with Ryan Manning. Ryan, you've been parked by the race officials. What happened there?
I got put down on the apron. I hit the grass and I tried to turn, tried to brake, and nothing was happening. And I just short of Alt F4, and I just hoped maybe I'd come in a gap and hit the wall and not hit anybody. I got dumped by, I guess it was Daniel Roper, which is no surprise, but it is what it is.
Started back in 39th there, Ryan. We're running mid-pack there. How was your truck and how was the race going for you up until that point?
This truck is not what it used to be. It's very, very hard to do anything by yourself, and that's where I've been all night. I tried to stay out earlier and get some track position, and when I went to do my green flag stop, there was a truck sideways in their pit stall, and I missed my little lollipop guy and had to go around and ran out of fuel on the way back around, and the caution came out right as I slid past my pit stall. Couldn't reverse because I couldn't start my truck, so I got one lap back and just hoping to get another, and I was the caution and removed, so I didn't get my lucky dog.
Obviously, you have to look at trying to get solid finishes here. What kind of championship implications does this mean for you rolling forward, not being able to finish out this race?
I think without a partner from week to week, it's kind of out of the question for me. I was just here to have fun, and I was having fun until that, but I'm not too worried about the championship. I'm just trying to race and have fun around other people.
Before we let you go, Ryan, obviously a tough break. We saw the same thing that you did there, where you were kind of an innocent victim in that one. But what we have you, and obviously not the result that you were looking for, will give you an opportunity. Who makes it happen? Sponsors and shout-outs for you and the team.
Well, my guys at the race shop, they had a good truck for me. But thanks to you guys for putting the broadcast on. They're fantastic. That's about it here.
All right, well, Ryan, thank you for taking a moment to talk with us. Tough break for you, and we'll keep an eye out for you here as the season rolls on.
Y'all have a good one.
So that pretty much confirms what we thought that he would feel.
Yeah, he definitely sounded frustrated. he didn't sound so much frustrated with race control for the call. To me, he sounded like he was more or less frustrated with Daniel Roper in that, I believe, 37 truck. He did 61 actually. He did not seem too happy with him, said he was racing him poorly this whole season. Tough break for him, but didn't seem too upset at race control. He just seemed like he was really upset with the way Roper was racing him.
Jeff Ramsdell is opening up a poll to the drivers to see if he will finish a race this season with 15 to go. So that's a poll going up amongst the drivers in the sim. But again, and Roper did immediately apologize over the radio. But again, I think we're pretty much at a general consensus that race control had to make a quick decision there and possibly didn't get a chance to review that. And all they saw was a truck pile driving the field and did not know what caused him. So it was a tough break. And again, we want to thank Ryan for coming down and having a word with us. But we're getting set to go back green flag racing. It's going to be 15 laps to go at Daytona under the sun, Daytona Beach, Florida. Race leader Alan Bowes. Outside leader, the 38 of Logan Kress. Green flag flies back and away. Look at the run by the outside lane coming to the stripe. The 35 of the 18 already pushing down on the bottom. We got a big checkup down through the pack, and a warning has been issued to the outside lane for jumping the start.
Whoa, what an upset there. Bowes actually held up the 35, would not let him push him. That's just, I don't like that. I don't like checking up the inside. He could have harmed the inside line or harmed Karsten, but Karsten seems to be okay.
35's not happy. He's pushing him all the way down the back.
No, 35 is definitely upset with that one. Not the greatest move there by Bowes. But anyways, the 35 is being pushed by the 006 of Burns, who, this is just a big push line actually on the inside. And Karsten's going to go to the outside. Think about it. Didn't quite want to go through with it. Spencer Burns is letting him know he is ready to push him to the lead. Prepare yourself for this one, he said. As here they go to the outside. The 35 is going to try to look to the pull back in line, actually, and that's going to leave the door open for the 08 and 924 of Plash and Goat. As they have found a space on the outside, and they have a mad run trapping the 006 and 35 on the inside as they're going to try to take the lead. They have a mad run on this outside.
They are flying up on the outside lane. The 05 of Del Campo not satisfied with a truck that had no partner cutting him and his partner off, and he's going to show his displeasure by getting down right on the door of that truck down the back straightaway. But it is the outside lane that had the huge run. It was Jonathan Goke and Ian Plash, and they're going to have to perform a swap here. 08 goes high, Plash will pass in the middle lane, and then the 08's going to tuck down right up on that bumper. They will lose that outside standing, but again, it was the 18 that checked up to allow his partner and teammate Logan Kress to get in front of him, which again ended up checking up the 35. And normally when the guy in front of you is on the back bumper of somebody, you don't typically push them, but you can obviously see that Carson Giantomaso was not happy because he's given that machine a little bit of a push. Now they're going to go to the outside, and that's right in front of Plash. Nearly cut those guys off. They can't appreciate that, and now the 35 can't go high anymore because Plash is about to have a nose on Burns there. They're still clear. Now the 924 to the outside. 35, it's too late to make a move now. He's just going to keep driving into the back end of Bowes. Not letting off.
The 35. He's
on the apron now.
He saved that 35, scaring me. He's all over the track right now. He was very, very strong before this caution. Don't know what his issue is right now. Maybe having a tire go down or something. Maybe it's just his frustration. He seems really upset at Bowes, and he's going to continue to push Bowes now. He's just not letting this one go. He just wants to make sure he's not, let him know he's not happy about that restart.
Contact. The 05, Nick Del Campo, who was just upset with somebody that cut him off. Spencer Burns slides up the hill, and that's actually going to give some left rear damage right by that rear tire to the 05 of Nick Del Campo's Chevrolet. That's going to separate him from his partner in the 87 of Alex Monteferranti. At the outside lane now has the advantage Plash and Goke. They're not going to get clear on the inside this time quite yet.
I'm noticing not a lot of respect going up in this top pack. There seems like a lot of guys angry at each other. Karsten's still hitting that 18. But meanwhile, Plash is racing for the lead. 924 is on the outside with no help from Bowes. Bowes keeps getting loose from contact with the 35. And that's opening the door with the 924 and the 08 as they're going to push each other on the outside. We have seen tonight the 924 refuses to go down low without his drafting partner. And we will see that again. He was clear but refused to go down, and Goke is just trying to get a run, trying to cool his motor at the same time. And what this is doing is actually losing the outside lane some ground. Is here we go. We have the 920 with, they're actually up there alone. Everyone just went to the inside. Is the 35 wants to make a move. I think there's just no hole for him to do. The 87 going to go under the apron. Thinks better of that one, thankfully. Could have been a big wreck there. And we still have Plash and Goke on the outside. Burns maybe thinking about going up there with him.
Yeah, Goke needs some air. He's trying to push Plash, and I think what Plash may have been trying to do on that front straightaway was drop down to the inside and, you know, kind of block, slow down that inside lane, then go back up high. You're allowed to block the lane's run as long as you don't cause an incident. If you cause an incident, you will receive a black flag correlating to that. So it's a risk versus reward thing. They're trying to make the outside work. They have help now because the 4 machine of Connor Anthony, the 44 of Logan Clampett, that's another 2-truck tandem that has been working together all night long. They have joined them up top. 10 laps to go. That last time by the start-finish line, and this lead draft of trucks pretty much goes all the way through this lead lap field, about back to 23rd position, within striking distance per se. That is 2.3 seconds back, but they're all in a big line, and with everybody being on each other's bumper here, PD, look at the outside lane. They're all bouncing off each other. A checkup could prove to be pretty disastrous if it happens up front, and it could be very big.
Ooh, and this pack is nothing short of aggressive. We have seen so much contact between these guys. And I don't mean pushing each other contact, I mean unwanted contact, as we have Plash and Goke racing on the outside of the 38. Plash, for the first time tonight, leaves Goke out there. He will go to the lead. Just like last week, Plash knows it is time to go. He takes the lead for his own and leaves his drafting partner of all night on the outside with Connor Anton and Plash to the lead in front of the 38. The 18 gained a taste of his own medicine. And here we go. Things are about to get wild as these trucks are getting sideways.
And again, Plash is not teammates with the 08. His teammate, Seth the Merchant, not in the field tonight. So that is really going to hurt Ian and his team because it was Plash and the Merchant who were leading the team championship standings. Seth unable to qualify tonight. So Plash is just drafting with the 08. He now goes back up to the outside, re-picks up that Pepsi Chevrolet, and a big shot to the right rear as they try to get hooked up. Going to cost them a lot of time. 38 through to the top spot. The 18 in tow with the number 4 machine. And very interesting because the 4 is down there, not with his partner. It is Alan Bowes on the inside lane with Logan Crest. That's really the only tandem on the inside that's still with their partners. Plash and obviously the 08 to Goke up top. But 2 tandems going to lead them down the backstretch.
Meanwhile, they're side by side, 2 3-car tandems. Actually, the 06 is pushing the 08, 006 actually, pushing the 08 right now. Burns has left the 35. He got sick of that, went to the outside, and now he's going to be part of this lead pack going to the front. Here they go. Plash is clear, but we will see him wait for the 08. Yes, we will. No, we won't. He goes down low. Leaves the 08 on the outside with Spencer Burns and Connor Anton. And we have a side-by-side battle for the lead because the 08 had such a good run, he immediately got to the outside of Ian Plash. And here we go again for the lead. Crest pushing Plash. It's every man for themselves right now. There are no partners right now, as we were seeing. Crest is just going with Plash, not waiting for Bowes, and this is going to create so many weird tandems at the end here. But maybe the weirdest of them all, Spencer E. Burns, Jonathan Goke, to the point.
Goke's going to leave him here.
Goke is, I would guess that Goke's going to leave him and go with Plash, as he does, and that will leave Spencer E. Burns with Connor Anton on the outside. And this is just exciting. We're seeing comers and goers all race.
Burns is going to get left here, PD, because it's the 4 and the 44 behind him. Those are teammates. So they may push that 006, but eventually I think they're going to leave him. And 3 wide now behind them. 44 machine not with the speed. It looks like Logan Clampett dropping back from his partner a little bit.
Cannot quite get there. And I don't know who Burns is going to have to work with here. Everyone has a partner, and Burns is just the boy at prom who cannot find. Maybe. We saw him work earlier together in the race, but they're just going to go around.
Oh, he got left, and he expresses his displeasure over the radio. We saw that one coming. Once to the high side now. A block going to be thrown out by Ian Plash, and now, they're going to pull down, and now, the 38, the 18 went high. Plash went to shut the door. Plash come down and hits him in the door, and that's going to cause damage on Plash. The 08 comes back up high. 3 wide. Here we go. The 4 of Connor Anton to the outside with the 44 of Clampett. 3 wide at the start-finish line. Advantage this time just by a nose to Logan Crest. We're not done yet. 5 laps to go. Do they hang on? This is 3 wide at Daytona. Not a lot of room, and everybody's going to be pushing, no lifting at this point.
There are 3.
There goes the 44. He turned him around.
Big one. Oh,
Clamp it in the wall. The
hard
006, the 87 caution flag will fly. Who had the lead? Does it go to Jonathan Goat? No, Logan Kress is going to win this race. We saw the caution flag fly, and it looks like, unfortunately, a net code situation because there was, looked like about a foot or so, PD, on my end here, in between the 41 and the 44. Just got turned around, and they were bouncing off each other. Huge hit for the 41 machine. The 006 replay goes up now. I said the 05, the 87 was in that one as well. And, oh, God, who was that flipping down the back straightaway? Was that the 006? It was Burns who was going up and over, reminiscent of Adam Gillen did earlier in the race. That was tumbling end over end, and this race is going to end in a caution. They have not caught the pace car yet. As we work lap 57, they would need to get 2 to go this time by. Don't anticipate that to happen, as they're not yet up to the pace car. So I do believe Logan Kress is going to be able to take home the checkered flag here tonight.
Normally, you would think the drivers would congratulate the possible race winner, but so far in chat, we are seeing guys congratulate Jeff Ramsdell for finishing his first Vidane race in 2 years. Haven't seen anything to Kress yet. Very unusual, but I guess congratulations to Jeff Ramsdell. It's been a rough 2 years for you, and it looks like you're finally going to get the finish you always wanted. Possibly my favorite quote from the race before that caution came out, what caused the 3 wide is the 38 completely tricked Ian Plash and Jonathan Goke and went low.
He got duked out. That was some that was some deeks right there, if we want to call it. Got absolutely left out to dry. That was a great move. That's the race winning move, I'd have to say.
I think my favorite quote from the chat was by Spencer Burns. He came over to chat and said, "Oh my goodness, the 38 yeet 'em."
The dangles, whatever you want to call it, absolutely faked out. And we saw Plash was going to attempt to throw the block. We talked about it early in the race, PD, that he had thrown a block at one point. You're allowed to do that. And with that run, he went out to the high side, and either it was a setup the whole time or very quick, reaction and thinking by those guys that went to the middle, because they immediately jumped back down to the inside. And what that means was it put Goke back up in the middle. He went to get with Plash, and because that 38 and 18 dropped back down to the bottom, they had the nose at the stripe, and that's how the checkered flag would be determined in that one. So, nonetheless, what an exciting... We were 3... This is not Talladega. We were 3 wide at Daytona. Nobody lifting. Things could get real ugly. They did once they got down into 1 and 2. Not by the fault of the drivers. Again, it did appear to be a little bit of net code, but what an exciting finish. We hope that one would have gone all the way green. But you can't, that was a thriller there in those final 3 laps there. Everybody bouncing off each other. They were mean to each other. Nobody was cutting anybody slack.
Ooh, I just can't get enough of this replay of that 38 juking him out. And I might have to send Ian Plash an ankle brace because he broke his ankles on that one. Man. But nonetheless, good move by Bose and Logan Kress to the lead. And meanwhile, the top 3 right now is looking like it's going to be Kress, Goke, and Plash, followed by Bose and O'Rourke to round out your top 5 if the race does finish like this. Spencer Burns, after a vicious wreck, has actually deemed his car incapable of finishing the race and has left the racetrack. Very eventful race, to say the least. And I gotta say, these drivers put on one heck of a show like these Vidane boys usually do.
And I think the breaking ankles reference, we'll have to talk to Ryan Manning again, because he had an OKC Thunder design on his truck. We talked to him earlier after he was disqualified in the race. But, we saw that even through that OPD, it was the tandems that prevailed. And right when we got down to 10 to go, it looked like Plash maybe had given up on working with Goke. He got back to him. So through all that, it's going to be the people that stuck with their drafting partners all race long that get the win. Doesn't normally work out that good at Daytona. It was starting to get to the crapshoot, and again, they were bouncing off each other. Plash came down and hit him in the door, got himself some damage, and they were all bouncing off each other. And it's really sucks that it finished under yellow, but what an exciting, again, that final run there. Very exciting there, as the lights again now still remain on the pace car as we take lap number 59, so that does mean that this race will end. So as long as the 38 of Kress is able to get the whole way around without any issues, he'll take the checkers tonight.
Oh, looks like we have a truck that's about to blow his motor trying. The Traxxas truck going to try to get a number on that one going back through the field. It's the 923 of Alan Lewis. He is smoking. Can he make it to the finish line? He is
I don't see
actually
any smoke anymore. It looks like the smoke just cut out. Did he lose? Oh, now it's back.
Oh, it's back.
It's puffing. He may be shutting off that engine, trying to make it to the finish. He still has 1.5 laps to go. He's shooting for a 17th place result up there. Doesn't want that truck to die on him. So that may be the case as he shuts it down and fire it back up. Because, I mean, even when you get front end damage, maybe just gave a windshield full of debris to the 68 who was behind him at the time. He's shutting it down and trying to make it all around. One of the things you have to be careful is if you get any sort of damage, I mean, even slight right side or front end damage, it's going to extremely raise your temps.
Yeah, and he actually has a pretty good finish right now. 17th out of 43 trucks. That's pretty darn good if you ask me, so I'm sure he does not want to lose that. Actually, we have 32 trucks in the lead lap, so if that motor blows, he is losing a ton of position. He has to keep that truck running under all circumstances. His biggest issue is this is a 2.5 mile track as we are on the white flag lap. He has to make it another 2.5 miles and turn that motor on and off, may keep it running for only so long. This motor has a limited life, and we may see Alan Lewis reach it if he's not careful here. He's doing everything he can to save this because he cannot afford to lose that motor.
Jeff Ramsdell continuing to remind everybody that he's still in the lead lap running positions. Is going to finish this race in his number 2 machine, so it's a joke per se going around the dang garage.
2 years.
Jeff Ramsdell finally going to take home a checkered flag. Again, we still have quite a substantial amount of trucks here that are just trying to limp to the finish here, trying to make it to the end, take that checkered flag, because a lot of them, again, pretty torn up. Unfortunate that we won't see a restart, but what an exciting finish. And we saw the pit strategy play into a factor, and I have to say, again, I'm impressed with how much these guys stuck true to their teammates. Race Control is reminding everybody that they're going to review the final incident to confirm that there was nothing going on there. Nobody that's up inside the top 3 that would receive a penalty for causing it. The Race Control did say that they believed it was netcode as well, but they will double check on that. But into the tri-oval and across the checkered flag, the PCP 150 at Daytona. Gonna go to the number 38, checkers in the air for Logan Kress.
And we're going to try to get an update on the 923, see if his motor made it to the finish line or not.
He'll limp across.
He did make it across, and it's still blown up. Congratulations to him. And once again, congratulations, Jeff Ramsdell. It's been a long time, bud, but you finally did it.
Well, don't expect Logan Kress to get many burnouts in because he got absolutely pile-driven into there after the checkered flag by the number 77 machine. So another exciting one with Vidane in the books here on LSRTV. We're going to step away and get to the post-race show. We'll talk to the top 3 finishers to get you set not only for next week, and again, more super speedway racing coming up this evening on LSRTV. So post-race show from Daytona with Vidane on the other side. Back live at the Daytona International Speedway here as 60 laps have come to a conclusion after a caution flag to end the race, but an exciting final dash there. Everybody was bouncing off each other. They were trying to kill each other, I think, but the caution flag flies for a pretty big incident down in 1 and 2, and tonight's winner is going to be Logan Kress. But first, we have caught up with our third place finisher tonight, driver of the 924, Ian Plash. Ian, going to be another solid finish for you, leading the team championship standings. I know Seth wasn't in it tonight. You were working with Jonathan there. How did you guys get up there? And we saw you went high to block. They dove down low, and then you guys ended up in the middle. Walk us through that dash there before the yellow.
Yeah, I was just really doing my best to make sure that at some point, we had the ability to be leading a lane with the cars at the fresher motors, trying to work the high side, and knew it was either jump the top or just get shuffled to the back on the bottom. So really, it was just a last-minute decision call, and they jumped back down to the bottom. And if that happened, I told Goke just jump in front of me. So in the end, we just really, as I said, wanted to lead a lane, and that put us in a great position there. Can't believe how crazy tight it got there towards the end, though. That 3 wide was really nerve-wracking.
What does it mean for you and the team that Seth was unable to make the show here tonight?
Well, the team that we're facing, our closest competition, that was Bose and Kress. They're going to be on top of the standings now. We're way behind. He rocked last week. I mean, anything can happen, but it's not looking good. I'm not very happy about it. There was a bit of a communication error, and he didn't get the correct time to be here, and kind of screwed us all over there in the end. But it's all good. I should be on top of the point standings now, at least for individual, so I still got something to run for.
It was an exciting race from up here. We saw a lot of people. It looked like everybody was driving angry at each other. I mean, you talked about how close it got there. What was it like being in the middle there at the end there? Because there was a lot of people, blocking, shutting the door, bouncing off each other. It was fun from up here. I'm not sure what it was like behind the wheel, having to be in the middle of it all.
Nerve-wracking, agitating, and I don't know. I mean, it's just racing. It is what it is, but not a whole lot of respect out there tonight, to say the least. It was getting pretty ugly.
Obviously, we're going to be rolling into round number 4 next week. Actually, going to be the RAR Chevette Productions 175. So walk us through your thoughts rolling into that one, and then sponsors and shout-outs.
It's going to be pretty exciting. Obviously, anytime you bring Gen 6 to Talladega, it's going to be one hell of a race. And I got a really good feeling that it should be a lot better next week. We had a really good Gen 6 race at Daytona, of all places, too. So you widen up a little bit. You give it more into the driver's hands, not so much about the tandem, and it should clean things up quite a bit. All in all, I'm rather disappointed about this race. Just some people can't figure it out. And believe me, from an administration standpoint, there's going to be a lot of changes coming into next week. So got a busy week leading up to next Friday, but in the end, it's all good. Just really want to thank out everyone who is making Vidane Racing possible. Obviously, Pro Coat Paints for coming on board this week, and all my admins who work their butts off week in and week out to make this all happen. It's just I don't know. We need to make a better showing for it. This is definitely not what we wanted for the season.
All right, well, thanks for having a word with us, Ian. Congratulations on the solid finish. I know you had kind of bummed about the team championship standings at this point. Still a long way to go. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Not a problem, bud.
So that is our third place finisher tonight, driver 924, Ian Plash. And the guy he was working with, the guy who was pushing there at the end, Petey, you're down on pit road, driver of the number 08. That's going to be Jonathan Goke.
Hey, Ian.
Yes, and I've caught up on pit road with Jonathan Goke. Jonathan, you worked the whole race with Ian Plash, probably the 2 most people we saw committed to each other throughout the race. And in the end, you just came up a little bit short with an untimely caution. Take us through your race and how you managed to drive your way all the way to a second place finish tonight.
I gotta tell you, it's just awesome working with a driver like Ian. We were able to get the front row starting first and second, and like you said, we were committed the whole race. If one would switch, the other would switch, and make sure to get hooked up and just pit when we had to. And we tried our best just to stay at the front because we knew the accidents would happen in the middle and towards the back. And well, we were able to stay at the front most of the race. Got caught back there a little bit after pit stops, worked our way back up there, and yeah, that caution came just about 10 feet too late, unfortunately, but still a great race. Awesome time getting to second and third for me and Ian.
Them final laps. We saw some of the most insane racing we've seen in a long time in them final laps. John, 3 wide by, oh man, just cars push.
Petey's having some technical difficulties there. Jonathan, walk us through the final laps of that race. We talked about it with Ian too, but it looked like everybody was, driving real aggressive, door slamming, bouncing off each other. What was it like to be right in the middle there? And walk us through the move that got you and Ian shuffled to the middle. I know he went up to block the run by the 38 and the 18. They dropped down low. You went up with them, and then caution flying, as you said, very untimely there for you guys out of 2.
Man, it was just crazy. I think it was like with 14 to go, everybody was lined up on the middle. Me and him were just able to use the side draft and go all the way up to on the outside fighting for the lead. And we tried to keep our engines cool up there with those guys, with Logan and Alan and Adam. It was just crazy. I mean, we did get shot to the middle there, but we were able to suck back up and just a good top 5 run for us. It's kind of weird being so upset with a second place run, but in the end, it's still a good run, a good points day for the championship.
All right, John, before we let you go, do you have anyone you'd like to thank? Who makes this happen for you?
Oh, I got to thank Ian, hands down. Just an all-around awesome person to run with. And then him and Paul running this awesome league. It's a great league to run with Vidane this year with all these awesome drivers. Some of the best on iRacing, hands down.
All right, well, that's your second place finisher tonight. Jonathan Gogue bringing his 08 Pepsi Chevrolet home in the second position. And meanwhile, down in victory lane, Evan Pasoko has caught up with your race winner, Logan Kress.
Yep.
We are down in victory lane with tonight's winner, Logan Kress. Logan, it was a wild one. Plash tried to block you guys. You dove down low and you'll get the checkered flag. Walk us through those final laps.
Ooh, they were insane. I just stayed in the inside lane. The inside lane was probably the place to be long into the run. Just simply because you're in the corners for a long time and the inside lane always gets to run into the corner. But yeah, when that caution came out, I had no idea who had the lead. I saw it popped up in my face that I had to pass the 08, but I thought we were 3 wide. So I didn't know if there was anyone on the outside of him. But then when I got clear of him, and I saw no one else in front of me, I was pretty excited.
Walk us through the race working with your drafting partner there all race long. You were on the inside. You were working there with Alan. And for most of the time at these plate tracks, when it really comes down to it at the end, people tend to leave their drafting partners. They tend to kind of go off on their own. And for exciting as that was, surprised that you and Alan, as well as, Ian and Jonathan, were able to kind of stick together. And it is going to be sticking with your partner that gets you the race. What was it like working with that 18 machine, getting the job done?
Bose is always great to work with. We realized that Gillen had some trouble in the middle of the race, and Seth, the merchant, wasn't in the race. So we knew our points competition, we were running in the race. If we finished there, we were going to be fine. So we just stayed together, helped each other out, and ended up getting us, I think, 1st and 4th, I want to say. So it worked out.
Again, you talk about the championship standings. Ian not having his teammate here for the point standings overall. The rent-a-race car is on the line here for the team championship standings. Only 3 races now with the books here out of 12 on this Season 7 campaign, but you have to, you got to love being up top at it tonight.
Oh, yeah, you can never be mad about being up top. And then with the points gap we have now, I think it's pretty big, so we can just go out and be consistent. We don't have to go out all out and risk getting a crappy finish. We can just take it easy, run mid-pack probably for the rest of the year, and probably be in good position.
Right, well, before we let you go, Logan, sponsors, shout-outs, everybody who makes it happen for you in the 38 team.
I have to give a big shout-out to Alan Bose. He said he was bling for the last 3 laps, so how he didn't blow up is beyond me. Fast Track Sims, which is a sponsor for the Pro Series, and everyone at Fastlane.
All right, well, thank you for talking to us, Logan. Congratulations on the victory to you and your team as well for a solid points night, and we'll be keeping out for you and your team up front here rolling forward in the season.
All right, thank you.
So that is tonight's big winner. It is going to be Logan Crest taking home the checkered flag in the Vidane Racing Rent a Race Car Super Speedway Series PCP 150 presented by Pro Coat Paints at Daytona PD. Not done tonight on LSRTV. The Super Speedway doubleheader Friday nights continues. iSuperspeedway.com Racing Series coming up at the conclusion of this race. But before we roll on and call this one in the books, your thoughts on this one as a whole?
Great race, just as usual. Vidane guys always put on a great show. Not surprising to me. Congrats to Logan Kress on the win, and hopefully many more to come for him. But now we're on to the next race, part 2 of our doubleheader night.
And again, it is round number 3 in the books tonight for the Vidane Racing Rent a Race Car Super Speedway Series. Logan Crest taking home the checkered flag. More importantly, his team going to go to the top of the team championship standings after race number 3. Next time on air with the Vidane Racing Series going to be in 1 week's time on the 14th of November. The RAR Chevette Productions 175 at Talladega. That one going to be a 175-mile, 66-lap affair at the Daytona Super Speedway. A lot of exciting stuff coming up on LSRTV. Again, iSuperspeedway.com Racing Series coming up immediately following tonight's coverage of Vidane Racing. Also, tomorrow night, the All-American 400 going to be on LSRTV as well. You got the Pro Series, you got a lot of RSR stuff, so much more to come. So make sure to check all that out. Live Sim Racing TV on Facebook or livesimracing.com. So on behalf of everybody up here in the booth tonight, myself and PD Zeller, Laura Lawson, down in the production holler, getting us on air tonight. Everybody at Vidane, President and owner Paul Strickland Jr., Vice President Carlin Meadows, and Director of Operations Ian Plash. My name is Evan Poselko. Thank you for tuning in. Logan Crest, the checkered flag tonight, and we'll see you in 1 week's time at Talladega.